Again, just slow it down, because a team like Huron that is so fast-paced, the last thing you want to do is, have a few seconds on the offensive end for the Bobcats and then instantly have to turn around and get back on defense. So really slow it down, get good shots, and try and keep Huron out of that super fast-paced tempo that they like to play with.
And one of the other bright spots for the Bobcats was Logan Smith, the freshman. Again, first game as a freshman and at the varsity level. Obviously has played some JV and sophomore level as well, but comes up with 11 points. Second leading scorer on the team behind Shelsta. And again, obviously Shelsta is going to be the talking point, the 6'5" senior. Just a cool 20 points, 17 rebounds for her on Saturday, Alec. But again, we talked about the balanced attack last year with looking for 3 players with double digits or around double digits, right? And this is a little bit better. Again, you had a player with 11, a player with 20, not bad, but then you look past that, and I believe the leading scorer was 5. 5 from there, 5 and less. A lot of 1s, a lot of 2s, things like that. But again, if you can get someone else to step into that trio and get to double digits, the Bobcats obviously have a chance for success.
Yep, and again, like we had said last year too, trying to get multiple scorers. So yes, Shelsta is going to be their leading scorer almost every game. But like we had mentioned, Shelsta and Logan combined for 31 of the 43, and then we had Jaden Devine.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's EST matchup between the Huron Tigers and the host, Brookings Bobcats. This contest is being conducted by the administration of Brookings High School under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and educational benefit of high school students. Good sportsmanship is a vital component of high school athletics. The South Dakota High School Activities Association and our student athletes recognize that judgment calls, either by coaches, officials, or the players themselves, are made in good faith and should be respected. We encourage you to support your team in a positive manner by pursuing victory with honor. Sportsmanship is all about respecting the game, each other, and yourselves. Please enjoy the game and support these student athletes by modeling good sportsmanship. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please stand, remove your hats, and show proper respect to the flag for the playing of our national anthem. Now, let's meet the Brookings Bobcat cheerleaders. Grace Pusa, Mackenzie Steinauer, Alyssa Love, Allie McKnight, Kiera Steinauer, Claire Einspar, Paige Johnson, Kiera Stoll. The cheerleaders are coached by Carly Krogman. And now let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's ESD matchup. First, the starters for the visiting Tigers. At guard, number 10, Bella Stree. At guard, number 22, Reese Roselle. At guard, number 23, Hampton Hines. At forward, number 30, Alexis Feenstra. And at guard, number 34, Kevin Gady. The Tigers are coached by Tim Buthagen and assisted by Chris Roselle, Wade Stobbs, and Diane Ulmer. And now the starting lineup for your Brookings Bobcats. At guard, a senior, number 12, Ashton Osborne. At forward, a senior, number 22, Claire Burns. At guard, a senior, number 24, Bailey Waterman. At forward, a senior, number 32, Paige Balke. And at forward, a senior, number 52, Ainsley Shasta. The Bobcats are coached by Mitch McClagan and assisted by Ross Peterson, Manny Schmidt, and Zach Potter. Officials for tonight's match are Connor Singheiser, Cam Forsman, and Jeff Mitchell. Let's play ESB basketball.
All right, you heard it right there from our PA announcer, Dave Bestie. First time I've seen him there, Alec. Usually we have, usually it was in the past. I'm blanking on the name, but it was always big. There he goes, always big. So good to see a new face.
Exactly, new face, new voice. We'll see if it's any better luck for the Bobcats here in Bob Jostad Gym.
Here we go, Bobcats playing the host to Huron. Bobcats in white uniforms, red trim. Huron in black uniforms, orange trim. Tip goes to the Bobcats. Up top, over to Bailey Waterman. Three-point shot just off the mark, trying to get a rebound there with Shelsta. It was Heaven Gainey, the junior, 5'8", came down with it. Huron looking to run their offense on the other side. Game just beginning, 7:35 here left in the first quarter. Right-hand side over to Feenstra, the 5'11 senior. Up top, number 23, Hampton Heights, just off the mark on a three-pointer. Rebound comes down to Ashton Ostreim. Tried ripping it away from Hampton Heights, but it's going to be a jump ball that'll go to the Tigers.
A good first offensive possession for the Bobcats. Yeah, I know it was a little quick, but still good ball movement set up for a wide open three for Waterman. That's something the Bobcats have to continue to do tonight. Get those open looks because eventually they will fall.
First rebound of many tonight for Shelsta. Bobcats looking to run their offense. It's Waterman trying to go baseline and nobody's there, so first turnover of the evening for the Bobcats. We talked about that previously. Will that be an issue tonight? A wide open look, three-point shot from Hampton Heights, the 5'7 sophomore. We talked about the dangers of how many shots they'll take, Alec, and right now the Bobcats are giving a lot of openings on the outward side.
Exactly, and that one too right there, that's just poor transition defense by the Bobcats. You have to make sure you can get back. It's one thing if they hit a three with a defender in your face, but just giving a wide open look as Shelsta puts in the left-handed layup there. It's one thing on defense, you got to make sure you're guarding somebody so they're not wide open looks like it was last possession.
Bobcats here, man-to-man defense to start the game. Again, we talked with Coach McClagan previously. They might move into zone. We'll have to see what happens. Running the offense at the top, it's Hampton Heights. Left-hand side over to Shreve. Shreve, a long three-pointer. Rebound goes down to Shelsta. Second rebound of the evening. A 3-2 lead for the Huron Tigers. 6:15 left in the first quarter. Paige Mulkey in the left-hand corner, going up to the top, loses her dribble. Finds Claire Burns, top of the key. Right-hand side to Ostrom. Catch and shoot three-pointer. Just long. Looked like it was on line from here, Alec, just a little bit long, but an offensive rebound goes to Bailey Waterman.
Yeah, nice offensive rebound there. But again, something like we said before the game, that's a shot that I think the Bobcats can get later on with good ball movement. Yeah, because again, Ostrom is an excellent three-point shooter, so she's one that I know Coach McClagan wants to be shooting the ball. But again, you make a couple extra passes, I think that comes back to her with a much better look, and it just doesn't feel quite as rushed.
It was Waterman trying to go baseline. They're going to say she was fouled before the shot, and that foul was on Feenstra, so her first and team first for Huron as the freshman Logan Smith checks in for Waterman. Out of bounds play from just underneath the basket, trying to get it to Shelsta. They lob it up top over to Ostrom. Left wing over to Claire Burns. It's top of the key, flashing high, Ainsley Shelsta. Right corner to Mulkey. Mulkey, good defense on her there. Logan, catch and shoot, three-pointer, nothing but net. The freshman, again, we talked about her earlier, and she can make things happen on the basketball court, and the Bobcats take a lead here 5-3 with 5:35 left in the first.
I mean, she's got the confidence to shoot, probably gets it from her dad, who was an all-stater himself here back in 1996, Jason Smith. So again, the confidence to want to shoot is what the Bobcats need here tonight, as Logan did there, giving them a 5-3 lead.
And it was an and one there. It was Isabella Shreve, drove into the lane, got the basket and the foul. And I believe that was a foul on, let's see who they got it on, Logan Smith. That's her first, team first for Brookings. 5-5 game here. Offensive rebound was trying to get ripped away there. Another turnover. It was, the rebound came down from Shelsta. It was knocked from her hands and then stolen. So Huron gets another chance here on the offensive possession. Bounce pass up top over to Feenstra. Right-hand side, Roselle with a three-point shot, no good, but another offensive rebound goes to Hines. Good drive there, stuck in the lane, back to a 2-3 zone here. We just talked about that earlier. So a zone defense right away. Bobcats didn't like the man-to-man look. They've made a switch here, Alec.
And again, the Bobcats doing a much better job contesting the threes, and you can see it's tougher for Huron. Missed 3 of them on that possession. Now they just got to do a better job of boxing out, because right now we've seen the difference of open looks for Huron, the makes, and then when there's a hand in the face, the misses as Ostrein puts up a 3, and again off the mark. Don't think it caught any rim as it went off Shelsta's hand. So again, I like the confidence from Ostrein. A couple extra passes. I think she will get much better looks for herself, like I mentioned, where she doesn't seem quite as rushed.
Ostrein will get a break. Jaden Devine checking in for her, the 5'7" sophomore. And Ostrein talked previously before the game how she's such a streaky shooter. If she sees one go, anything can happen. But there's times where if it does not fall, it can go the opposite way. So we'll see if she can get some consistency later on. 4:25 here in the first. Corner three-pointer again, hitting nothing at all from Jaden Devine. Rebound goes to Heaven Gainey, looking to push to the other side. Hines drives in, going to try and get a rebound at Shelsta. She rips it away. Shelsta with her 5th rebound already in just 4 minutes into this game. 5-5 game. Bobcats tied with the Huron Tigers. Corner over to Malky. She's guarded by Gainey. Looking up top over to Shelsta. Shelsta goes right-hand side over to Smith. Then they pass it over to Jaden Devine. Devine reverses it back to Malky. A lot of outside passing. You don't see Burns always taking the looks out there, Alec, but I like the confidence. Didn't get that one to fall, and it's a rebound pushing the other way is the Huron Tigers.
Yeah, much better look there. I know it didn't fall for Burns, and I know she was one last year that we wanted to shoot a little more, but again, it was a wide open look. You have 5-6 passes on that possession, and you'll get the open look. So hopefully Brookings has noticed that the open looks they've got tonight have come from patience on offense. So hopefully that's something they continue to do.
And it was tipped out of bounds there by Jaden Devine. Good defense from Roselle, so another turnover for the Bobcats, and that'll have Ashton Ostrein check in. And then for the Huron Tigers, it's Bryn Huber. 5-5 game, 3:22 here left in the first quarter. Setting up the offense for the Huron Tigers, Isabella Shreve. Shreve looking for a ball screen, gets one, drives down to the middle of the lane, going to kick to the right-hand side over to Hines. Hines, a running floater over the top of Shelsta. Tough shot there from Hines, and now she's got her 5th point of the evening. 7-5 lead for the Tigers.
Yeah, really tough shot, but nice contesting there by Shelsta. I know it went in, but again, just having that hand up in the defender's face is going to make it tough for them all night.
And it was a high flash there from Shelsta, knocked out of her hand. So 3 turnovers here right away for the Brookings Bobcats. And again, it was Hines trying to drive into the lane. Very similar to her last shot. This time fouled on the way there, and she's going to have 2 at the line.
And that was, I believe, Logan's second, so she'll probably be coming out right now. No, they're going to bring Shelsta out. So Logan either is going to come out right now with 2 fouls, and she does as Gracie Sheridan checks in. Just 2 early fouls there for Logan, and if that's someone that the Bobcats are going to rely on scoring, got to take her out here with a little over 2.5 left, still in the first quarter.
Ella Bisgard also checking in for the Bobcats, and you wonder with Shelsta going out with this quick team, is she going to get fatigued tonight going up and down the court? It's tough being able to handle some of these Huron players as a travel is called. Heaven Gainey trying to do a little too much on the left-hand side. Turnover there for the Tigers. Bobcats get a little break here with 2:40 remaining in the first quarter. Again, Huron still with a 7-5 lead. A little bit of a zone press here from the Tigers, putting the pressure on. They know the Bobcats' numbers in the turnover section, so anything they can do to put pressure on, they will continue to do it. Up top to Ostrein. Kicks it over to Burns. Down low to Sheridan. Gracie Sheridan trying to reverse layup. She was blocked on the way up. Comes back down with it. Gets it back outside. Again, another 3-point shot for Ostrein. Just off the mark on that one. A little bit better result, but still a miss nonetheless as the Huron Tigers push the other way. Huber going to set up outside, and was a 3-point shot. Looked like it bounced up high and hit one of either the shot clock or one of the cords up there. So that'll be the ball going to the Brookings Bobcats.
And here with Shelsta out, the Bobcats, and correction, she's back in the game. I was going to say when Shelsta is out, that's where the Bobcats really have to be patient on offense. I think when Shelsta's in, 9 out of 10 times you kind of rely on her getting an offensive rebound, which she does. But when she's out, that's where they're really going to have to slow it down and take care of the basketball, because you won't get as many offensive rebounds when she is out of the game.
Pressure playing its role so far for the Huron Tigers. They cause another turnover with that press, and they're going to set up their offense. Huber, miscommunication on defense. Huber wide open, didn't get that one to fall. It's a fight for it. It's Sheridan and Addison Moore fighting for the ball, and they're going to say Gracie Sheridan touched it last. 7-5 lead here, 1:47 remaining in the first quarter. Bobcats trailing the Huron Tigers in ESD basketball action tonight. Double screen for Shreve, three-point shot, gets it to fall. She's got a good-looking shot there, Alec, and again, you can see already she's taken multiple three-point shots. They're going to try and get her the ball on the outside.
Yeah, both teams are really just almost letting it fly tonight. You've seen multiple threes coming from Brookings and also Huron. So again, it's one of those things like Coach McClagan said, if the shots are falling for Brookings, they're going to keep going with it. But at the same time, they're going to call travel there on Shelsta. But yeah, so Huron obviously not afraid to shoot the three. We've seen plenty of them so far, and we're only in the first quarter.
Waterman checks in for Brookings along with Mulkey, and then for Huron, it's Hampton Heights. So we'll see some new action this evening. Again, a 10-5 lead for the Tigers here, 1:22 remaining. So far for the Tigers, Isabella Shreve and Hampton Heights, 5 points apiece. And if I'm no mathematician, Alec, but 5 plus 5 is 10, and that's the amount of points that Huron has. So look into those two right now. The Bobcats trying to limit as many other Tigers as they can. Pass to the outside, it's Bryn Huber. Huber back to Moore, the freshman. Moore trying to drive baseline, nothing there. Gets it to Gainey. Gainey looks to drive to the middle, down to 10 on the shot clock. Going to be a long three-point shot there from Heinz, and she gets another one to fall. So Hampton Heights already an early 8 points for her, and now an 8-point lead for the Tigers.
And again, with how many three-pointers they are shooting, a 2-3 zone is not something McClagan's going to want to go to because that's just going to give you even more open looks. Nice pass there as Ella Bisgard puts in the layup, cutting the lead to 6, 13-7. Huron leads with 30 seconds to go in the first.
Much better court vision there for the Bobcats. Took their time, got to the press, and found a layup. That's textbook stuff right there. Left-hand side over to Heinz. Heinz with 8 points on the evening so far. Running wild shot. Comes right back to her. Gets an offensive rebound, and then she's going to get an and one as well. So Hampton Heights lighting up the score sheet right now. She's got 10 of the Huron 15, and it's a 15-7 lead here with just over 18 seconds in the first quarter.
And you see Shelsta Burns and Logan Smith coming back in the game. You've got to wonder that Coach McClagan just wants to try and get one more look on the offensive end with those three coming in. But at the same time, with Logan having 2 fouls, has to play extremely smart. With only 18 seconds left, you just can't pick up your third in the first. So again, doing it probably more on the offensive side to see if they can cut into this 8-point deficit.
Reese Roselle, the 5'7 senior, checks back in for Huron. She's going to come in for Heinz. So Heinz getting a break here, 11 points out of the 16. It's a 16-7 lead for the Tigers. Getting to the 10-second mark. Again, Logan Smith trying to take over the offense. A long pass to the other side. Under 10 seconds, down to 7. Kick it out to Shelsta, 15-footer. Not her comfort zone, but an offensive rebound goes to Logan Smith. They get it back to her. Chance to go up with the left hand at the buzzer. Doesn't get it. They're going to say she got an offensive rebound there. Had a put back after the buzzer, but did not count. And that concludes the first quarter. Again, Huron leading 16-7 in ESD action over the Bobcats tonight. We'll take a 1-minute break here. You're listening to Bobcats girls basketball on Kick Country 102.3.
Compared to volleyball. They did a stellar better. Oh, started the clock already. Behind you. Bond is open. Bond is open. Oh no.
Turn around. There you go. Don't you want to know where it's at? Bobcat girls basketball back tonight at home, playing the Huron Tigers alongside Alec Johnson. This is Annie Lee, 1 quarter underway, and it's a 16-7 lead for the Tigers. And the story so far for Huron, Hampton Heights, 11 of those 16 points, showing leading the way for the Huron Tigers so far through the first quarter, Alec.
Yep, Bobcats have to do something on the defensive end to stop her, and again, if it's contesting her threes or even helping double teaming when she goes to the lane, something to slow her down. 3-point attempt there by Gracie Sheridan off the front end of the rim, and it's going to be tipped by Huron, so it'll stay Brookings' possession.
Not a shot Gracie Sheridan usually sticks with too much. Again, we'll have to see if she can get inside the paint, get a little more comfort there. inbound to Logan Smith. 7:43 remaining in the second quarter. Flashing high is Shelsta. Up top to Waterman. Right side over to Claire Burns. Looking to trying to get it to Shelsta. Can't get it to her. They finally do, but it's good defense there. It was Alexis Feenstra who knocks that one out of bounds, so Bobcats will have an inbounds play from underneath the basket.
And again, if you're going to look into Shelster, you got to make sure she has position. I think sometimes they try and rush it into her. It's going to be travel there on Gracie Sheridan. But, you know, it's one thing if you want to get it down into Ainsley, but you got to make sure she has position. That way she can, you know, kind of hold off her defender to catch it in the post. So, again, it's not just a rushed pass down low to her.
Shreve taking over for Huron. Gets a ball screen there. Back over to Feenstra. Feenstra atop of the key three-pointer. No good. Rebound to Logan Smith, who looks to push the other way. Smith, the freshman, looking on the right-hand wing, trying to get it up top to Burns. She does. Burns goes over to Waterman. Waterman will catch and shoot. She likes that spot, but nothing there. Good hustle from Gracie Sheridan, but they're going to say she touched it last. It was close. It was her, and it looked like it was Heaven Gainey right there. I couldn't quite tell, but they're going to say that Sheridan touched it last. So nonetheless, Huron ball, 7 minutes here left in the second quarter. 16-7 lead for the Huron Tigers.
And again, you know, just a quick three there for the Bobcats. Anytime you're launching, I'd say with still 30 seconds left in the shot clock, probably a little too soon, something like we had said before the game. Couple extra passes, kind of run, let that offense run, get a better look, because again, it's Huron, who's such a fast-paced team, you're going to get tired easily. So again, you want to slow it down a little bit on the offensive end.
Huron showing their quickness, looking to penetrate as much as they can. Bobcats doing a great job on defense so far, holding on the outside. 1 second left, and I believe it's going to be a shot clock violation. So that is exactly what you want to see for the Brookings Bobcats on the defensive side. And we talked about some of the success earlier, Alec. If the Bobcats can slow this team down and frustrate them, they are going to put up some tough shots and get a little upset with what they're doing on offense.
Yeah, much better defensive possession there. Now let's see if Brookings can do the same on the offensive end, not having a shot clock violation, but kind of running more of that time off the shot clock and getting a better look.
Ostrein back in the game for the Bobcats. 16-7 lead for the Huron Tigers. 6:15 remaining in the second quarter. Ostrein tries to look at a three-pointer, just gets it over to the top to Shelsta. Shelsta getting double-teamed, uses that left hand, can't get it to go. Good defense from the Huron Tigers, and it's a rebound to Roselle. Roselle looks around, gets a handoff over to Hines. Hines, left by everybody, had a wide-open three. Luckily, did not go again. Why would you leave the 11-point scorer wide open? I don't know, but the Bobcats clearly had some sort of game plan I don't know about, because it worked, and then it was Hines on the other side fouling Logan Smith at the top of the key.
And normally, too, you know, it's just kind of guard who guards you, you know, not necessarily every time, but for the most part, you know, if Huron's in man-to-man, as is Brookings, it should kind of just be whoever's guarding you, that's who you guard, and you really should never get that wide open of a look, but the Brookings got bailed out there, and Hines was able to miss it.
Right-hand side, Waterman. Waterman guarded by Heaven Gainey, excuse me. Top of the key to Logan Smith. 18 on the shot clock. Bobcats having trouble moving around here. Dead ball up top, gets it to the right-hand side. It was going to Ostrein, and it was knocked out of bounds by Hines. Checking in for Brookings, coming back in. Ella Bisgard coming in for, I believe it is, who'd she come in for? Bailey Waterman as well. Lob over the top to Logan Smith. 10 on the shot clock. Bobcats need to get something going here. They're going to go up top of the key, trying to go to Burns, and it's Ostrein who comes up with it. 5 seconds, just lobs it up, gets it to Shelsta, who almost came up with it, but then turns it over, and it's Isabella Shreve pushing the other way. Goes to Gainey on the right-hand side. She loses control, and it was Ella Bisgard who came up with it, and Gainey getting a little too aggressive gets called for the foul.
Just not really seeing any movement down on the offensive end for the Bobcats. And again, you can see the frustration too. They're trying to get down into Shelsta, but again, when nobody's moving on the perimeter or cutting the hole, you're just not going to get any open looks. Got to see a little more movement from the Cats down on the offensive end.
Yeah, we'll take a 30-second break here as Coach McClagan wanted 30 seconds to talk things over. You're listening to Girls Basketball, Kid Country 102.3.
Scoreless. A little rusty right now. I'm a little rusty right now, though. I'm catching myself with certain things. Yeah.
Logan for 3, got it, and again, just a better look there by the Bobcats. Something we talked about, that there was 16 seconds left on the shot clock. That's something that they just have to do. Make better passes, and
Rebound goes to Shelsta. He just missed a three-pointer from Logan Smith. She's got 6 on the evening. Has a look at another one, doesn't take it. Goes to Burns in the corner. Much better passing there from the Bobcats. Again, though, not hitting anything on target. So it's a rebound to the Huron Tigers. 16-10 lead, 4:15 left in the second quarter. Huron held scoreless so far, and there's the broadcast jinx. As I say that, Shreve knocks down a three-pointer for the Huron Tigers. Now a 19-10 lead with 4 minutes in the second.
But going back to Logan's 3, and again that came with patience on the offensive end. Not sure how many times we have to say it, but they ran 15 to 20 seconds off the shot clock. Logan had a wide open look and was able to cash in. So again, patience for the Bobcats. Not only are you slowing down Huron's offense, who likes to push it, you're going to get a much better look every time.
Seems like the Bobcats are having trouble getting moving around here. It was Bisgard trying to get an entry pass to Shelsta, and it was stolen by Feenstra, the 5'11 senior, so another turnover for the Bobcats. Great cut there from Heaven Gainey, and it was Ashton Ostrheim meeting her underneath the rim and fouls her on the way up. Shot no good, but she'll have 2 from the line. So again, talking about that West Coast offense hustling down the court as fast as they can. Huron just showed right now what they do best, Alec.
Yeah, again, it's just Bobcats have to get back in that transition defense. And again, we've seen Huron do kind of a multiple of things going that way. There have been a few times they've had the numbers and they've still looked for the wide open 3, but at the same time like that, they're not afraid to crash the hoop, attack, and get to the line to draw a foul. So you really got to be on your feet if you are Brookings, and the number one thing you have to do is just get back.
First free throw no good for Gainey. Second one on the way, and that one is good. So that is officially the first Huron Tiger to score that is not named Heinz or Shreve. It's a 20-10 lead for the Huron Tigers. Addison Moore checked in for Huron, and then it was Gracie Sheridan and Bailey Waterman back in for Brookings. 3:15 left in the second quarter here. 18 on the shot clock, 20-10 lead for the Huron Tigers. Sheridan gets knocked away from her. It's going to be Shelsta who comes up with it. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Bobcats got to get moving here. Left-hand side over to Sheridan in the corner. Down to 5 seconds. Bobcats have to get a shot up here. 3, it's going to be Claire Burns, a long 3 ball. Just clipped the rim, so no shot clock violation. But again, the Bobcats not an offensive possession they need, especially down 10 late in this first half, Alex.
I mean, yeah, they did use a lot of the shot clock there. That's something we've been talking about, but just no movement from around the perimeter. You just had those 4 girls around the arc with just Shelsta down low. Again, you're not going to get an open look if nobody's moving on the offensive end.
Rebound goes down to Waterman. It was Shreve with a good kick and drive out to Feenstra. She did just off the mark on her three-pointer. Again, a lot of high flash posts from Shelsta. They get it left-hand side over to Sheridan. Getting it back down to Shelsta. They tried lobbing it down. I think it was Feenstra there again, the 5'11 senior, who knocks that one out of bounds as Paige Malke checks in for Brookings. And then it was Gracie Culver, Jazz McGurr. I want to say, again, we talked about this earlier, Alec, about the situation we have right now as broadcasters. Huron right now on their roster has 2 number 32s, and one of them just came in right now as Ashton Ostrheim does get that one to fall, and that might just be the confidence booster that she needs right now. 2013 lead for Huron, 2 minutes left in the first half.
Definitely the confidence boost that she needs, and again, it came with a little patience, off the inbound play. Wasn't rushed, was open, made it. So again, hopefully she kind of knows that as well. When she has those open looks and is able to slow down a little bit, she's able to connect.
And it does look like on the board, luckily they're helping us out here. I can see 32 on the board. It was Carson Kopman, the 5'9 junior. Again, I was talking about it earlier as Bryn Huber misses the first free throw. They have 2 32s on the roster, Carson Kopman and Jazz McGurr, and clearly this is the 5'9 junior, Kopman. Both free throws no good. A tough rebound there from Ashton Ostrheim. Great rebound for the Bobcats. Just under 2 minutes here in the first half. Again, only a 7-point lead for the Tigers. A chance for momentum here as the Bobcats look to run an efficient offense on this end of the court. They get it down to Paige Malke. Good move there on the way. It looks like she's fouled before the shot. But again, that's a much better offense. Got it down low. Again, it's nice to see a post player for Brookings who's not Ainsley Shelsta get the ball and get to the basket like that with some efficiency.
Exactly. And again, like you had said, patience too. They didn't just force it in right away. They had a couple extra passes before they went down low. So again, just the confidence that they have. Nice skip pass there by Burns across court, and in and out. Offensive rebound, though, and it's going to a nice offensive rebound by Paige Malky going to the line to try and convert on the old-fashioned three-point play.
What a great play that was from Paige Malky. Stuck with it, was fouled on the way up, and it was number 50, Gracie Culver, the 5'10 senior, her second team foul, number 5 for Huron. So only a 5-point lead, just like that. 1:40 left in the first half here. A chance to cut it to 4 with a free throw here from Malky. Malky just off the target there. Rebound goes to Feenstra of Huron. Again, we've seen it a lot tonight. Shreve looking to push ahead, gets it down to Huber down low. Back to Feenstra. Feenstra drives into about 3 Bobcats, and again, they just can't keep them and keep her in front of them as she got past, I think it was Waterman there. Waterman fouled her on the shot, so a chance for 2 shots here for Isabella Shreve.
And again, what Huron's been doing all night, it's either they're going to shoot the 3, otherwise they're going to go right around Brookings and attack the hole and try and draw a foul. You don't really see any height. They haven't really been looking down into the post, any post players. It's kind of either they're going to launch the 3 or it's going to be a quick attack of the basket for a layup or draw a foul and get to the line.
Shelsta checks in for Brookings, and it looks like Hampton Heinz, the 5'7 sophomore, will be checking in for Isabella Shreve, the shooter, if she makes this one. First one was no good. Second one is good, and Hampton Heights will check in for Shreve. Shreve with that free throw, 9 points here so far in the first half, and it's been a great half for her in Hampton Heights so far. 1:29 here left in the second quarter, 21-15 lead for the Tigers. Again, we're seeing that press look from Huron. Again, a little more of a relaxed press, nothing crazy, not any double teams or anything like that, but the zone press, and it seems to be working for them so far, creating turnovers on defense. They get it over to Shelsta at the right elbow. Little handoff over to Paige Malky, kicks it out to Ostrein, who just hit her last 3-point shot. Tough drive there. I think she was behind the backboard, a tough angle, and we're going to see it's Shelsta pointing for the Bobcats' way, and it was her and I think Addison Moore there, and they're going to say Moore touched it, so Bobcats catch a break here. 15 seconds still on that shot clock.
And again, Huron, like you said, it's kind of a relaxed press, but what it's doing, it's not allowing Brookings to kind of do what Huron's doing and just push the ball down the court. You know, you've got your 2 girls in the middle kind of slowing it down, and then the 3 in the back. So again, you wonder if that's something Brookings looks at in the second half to try and slow Huron down, because again, it's slowed Brookings down on their transition to the offensive end.
You got a minute left on the game clock, only 6 seconds on the shot clock, and then that pass is tipped out of bounds by Carson Kaufman, the 5'9 junior. So only 5 seconds on the shot clock. Bobcats have to put something up here. You've got Shelsta in. It looks like they're going to double team her and try and get something over the top. They do get it over the top, but it's going to be tipped out of bounds again, and that was Carson Kaufman, the 5'9 junior, now down to 2 seconds on that shot clock. So again, they're going to have to lob something up here. It looks like there's going to be a timeout from the Huron side. They want to talk about it. I'm sure they're going to draw something up for Shelsta so they can stop her for that over-the-top quick lay-in.
Yeah, I would assume so too. And again, you wonder now if Brookings is going to make any substitutions. It doesn't look like it because, like you had mentioned, Huron probably assuming with 2 seconds left, you're going to go down into Shelsta. So does Mitch McClagan, maybe go with a perimeter play, because if you're assuming Shelsta's going to get the ball, maybe you do something to get for an open 3 look. We'll see what they do here, like you had mentioned, with only 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
Looking at Huron, some of the leading scorers so far in the first half. We've talked about them a lot. Isabella Shreve with 9, Hampton Heights with 11, and then that one lone point from Heaven Gainey from the free throw line. Bobcats so far leading scorer Logan Smith with 6. She's got 2 3-pointers. Shelsta only with 2 right now. She had that classic left-handed layup, but that has been all she's gotten so far. And then you had that 3-pointer from Ashton Ostrein, and Paige Malky with a nice lay-in there who could not convert on the and one. And a great play there from the Bobcats. They had a great opportunity. It went down to Claire Burns, who had a chance at a great lay-in, couldn't get it. And then it was Shelsta who came up with it, and it got knocked out of her hands. But now a fresh 35 for the Bobcats. A lot of chaos there in just a few seconds, but the Bobcats will take it as Heaven Gainey checks back in for the Huron Tigers.
A really nice play there by the Bobcats. Something like you had said, Huron probably assumed with 2 seconds you're going to go to Shelsta for a quick one. Instead, he draws it up for Burns to come down, who had a nice look, just happened to miss it. I believe it was Paige Malky there who shot a 3 from the corner and again did not catch any of the rim. Giving the ball back to Huron.
About a 10-second difference, 35 on the game, 25 on the shot. Right-hand side is Hampton Heights, guarded by Ostrein. Up top to Heaven Gainey. They go left-hand side to Bryn Huber. Thought she might have traveled on that one. Ref said no. Up top to Heights. Heights, a little turnaround jumper from the free throw line, and a great hustle play there from Alexis Feenstra, and that's a great rebound for her because she was being boxed out by Shelsta. Not an easy target to get around. That is 7 fouls on Brookings, but in this scenario, they do not get, or will they get the and one? They will get the and one in that scenario. So
they will not get an and one. They will get a 1 and 1 though.
Hoofda. Yeah, that'll be Alexis Feenstra, the 5'11" senior. Can you tell I haven't done basketball in a year, Alec?
No. I mean, again, we've had more confidence in tonight's game than, like I had mentioned, some of the volleyball we did. Awesome experience calling volleyball, but feel a little more comfortable up in the booth calling basketball.
So confident that I thought it was right, and it was not. Feenstra knocks down the first one. Checking in for Huron, Reese Roselle, the 5'7" senior. Logan Smith checking in for Brookings. 22.2 on the clock, 22-15 lead for the Huron Tigers. Just about to halftime. Second one on the way, rattles in for Feenstra. She's got 2 points on the evening. Shot clock off. Again, that zone press from the Huron Tigers. Burns gets it up to Gracie Sheridan. Back to Burns. Going to be a foul there. Reckless defense from the Huron Tigers. Hampton Heights, no reason to jump that pass and knock over Claire Burns. That's the 16th foul. So just like that, one more foul puts Brookings in the bonus, which would be a fantastic scenario if you're Coach McClegan and the Bobcats, Alec.
Exactly, and like you had said too, their little relaxed press has been working for them all night. I don't think there was any reason, like you had said, to try and crash and get that steal. You're just giving a foul. So next foul gets Brookings to the line, which they could use the way their offense has been struggling a little bit in the first half. If they could get to the line for a couple free throws to try and cut into this lead before halftime, I think would be great.
One of the things here, we had two refs come together. They were having a huge discussion after that foul, and I thought maybe it was questioning the board if it was a 1-and-1 scenario, and now Coach McClegan having a talk with them as well. I'm not sure. He seems to understand. Not sure exactly what that was about, but nonetheless, Isabella Shreve, the 5'5" senior, does check back in the game. Down to 10 seconds. They get it across the timeline to Shelsta. Got to move here. Down to 7 seconds. Up top to Ostrein, guarded by Gainey. Right side to Logan Smith. Hands are up on defense. 2 seconds. Going to be blocked at the right before the buzzer there. It was number 10, Shreve. Great defense there on Logan Smith. You can see Coach Boudinegger down there putting his hands up saying, we got a shooter out here. Great job from the Huron Tigers to close out that first half. It's a 23-15 lead for the Huron Tigers over Brookings in this ESD basketball action. We'll take a 3-minute break here to get a word in from our sponsors. When we come back, we'll have an update on the boys basketball game in Huron, and we'll get you some more updates around ESD and some of the statistics from the first half. You're listening to Bobcat Girls Basketball.
Score from Huron at halftime in the boys game, Brookings 29, Huron 20.
right now to just an 8-point deficit, trying to stay in there. Much better in that second quarter. Again, the first quarter statistics right now, Huron scored 16, Brookings only 7, but then came back in the second quarter, outscored Huron 8-7. So much better job. You'd like to see where the things are going for this second half, Alec.
Exactly, and one thing that we had talked about before the game to look at were turnovers. Brookings had 10 the first half. So again, you do the math, on pace for 20, which is something we had said before the game. If they can have fewer turnovers than they did in Watertown, that would be big, and so far they are on pace for that, which is huge. The other thing, that caught my eye was the fact that they are not afraid to shoot the three, but Brookings is 3 of 16, only shooting 19% from beyond the arc. And again, right off the top of my head, I bet 10 of those were rushed threes. You think of the ones that Logan made and Ostrai made, slower, had an open look, connected on them. Some of the other ones, a little too fast. So again, if Brookings can slow down a little bit and get better looks, I think a few of those will fall in their favor.
Yeah, you talked about the 19% for threes, only 24% overall, 6 of 25 from the field. Huron, not a lot better, 7 of 23. They're sitting at 30%. 4 of 14, 28%, or roughly 29% from the three-point line. Only 5 of 10 on free throws. Again, the Bobcats, we had mentioned what they need to do from the free throw line. Only 1 free throw in the first half, and I know that they would like to see a lot more from the charity stripe come the second half, Alex.
Yeah, and again, Huron did a phenomenal job of limiting Shellsta to getting to the line, even catching, the passes down low. So something that we had said, I believe it was Malky or somebody, I think it was Malky down, but Brookings was able to get it down low to somebody other than Shellsta, and I think that was something that Brookings needed to do because, again, some of those times they were just forcing it, almost like they had to throw it down to Ainsley. But again, they've got other girls that they can get down in the post, so I think if they can get it to some other girls to try and limit the double team that Shellsta was getting every time, I think they can hopefully get to the line a few more times than they did in the first half.
Yeah, clearly Huron coming in with a game plan of doubling Shellsta, tripling her at times, just making sure someone else has to get that ball into the basket, and that's something that the Bobcats have struggled with. Not just this season in 2 games, a game and a half, but previous seasons as well, especially with Shellsta on the roster. Again, there just hasn't been a lot of contribution from any of those other players, and it was nice to see a 3-pointer from Ashton Ostrom. Again, she sees something going, you just don't know what can happen. She can start catching fire and maybe pick things up in the second half. Looking at the scoring on both sides here on, again, Shreve with 9 points, Heinz with 11, and then you had 2 points from Feenstra with those free throws and 1 lone free throw from Heaven Gainey. Looking at the Bobcat side, leading scorer Logan Smith, the freshman, 6 points, 2 3-pointers for her, and then you've got 3 players with 2. It's Ella Bisgard, Ainsley Shellsta, and Paige Malky, and then Ashton Onstrom with that 3-pointer that we just mentioned. But looking at those scores, what does that tell you from the first half? What do the Bobcats, what does even Huron need to improve in the second half, Alec?
And again, it tells us for the Bobcats, this was one of those games that when you're missing Hamrick and Wilson, who else is going to come up and score? And again, this is a great night too for the Bobcats to understand that when Shellsta's not on top of her game, only having 6 points in the first half, then you really need some of those role players to step up and score. So again, I'd be curious to see who comes out in the second half. If Brookings is able to get it down to Shellsta for a few more baskets, or if they're going to have to rely on their 3-point shooting, which they kind of did in the first half, like we mentioned, 3 of 16. Hopefully can connect on a few more of those in the second half.
Obviously, the offensive side is extremely important, but one of the things I'm looking forward to is seeing what the Bobcats will do on the defensive side, if they will start where they finished with that zone defense, or if they'll go back to the beginning, try some man-to-man, see what happens, see if they can rely on some help defense. But it's just going to be interesting to see what the Bobcats choose, because you want to avoid some of that penetration, but with that zone, you risk getting penetration in there and then some kickouts to open shots. So both ways have their issues. It just depends on what the Bobcats are feeling, and I have confidence in Coach McCleggan that he'll make the right decision, Alex.
Exactly, and they did a much better job defensively towards the end of the first half. You think back to the first quarter, the first part of the game, Huron was just getting, absolutely wide open looks. They were 4 of 14 on threes. I bet 2, maybe 3 of those were just absolute wide open looks, like I had said. And again, it's an 8-point game. If you defend a few of those threes a little better, it might be a 3, 4 or 5-point game. So Brookings did a much better job there in the first half, contesting the shots, getting back on defense. So like you had mentioned, Coach McCleggan is going to have to do that as well here in the second half to cut into this 8-point lead that the Huron Tigers have.
And we had an update from the Brookings-Huron game in Huron. The boys team leading at the halftime. Brookings 29-20 over the Huron Tigers. So that's great to see after their first outing in Watertown. Just an overall tough game for them. So great to see the boys bouncing back tonight so far. Again, I haven't seen any part of it, but to have a 29-20 lead at half, that's something special after the way the results ended up in that first game against Watertown.
Yeah, that's huge. And again, you never want to lose to Watertown, especially the first game of the season. And again, Brookings had struggled that night on the offensive end. Something, they lost their 2 leading scorers from last year with Henry Hamrick and Nick Sheffers, excuse me. So again, when you lose your 2 leading scorers, it's very tough. Now you got to rely on some others. And I know in Watertown they had a couple guys who had 5 points, and then that was their leading scorer. So awesome to see them bounce back tonight on the road at Huron with a lead at half.
Taking a look at some of the other ESD AA action around the state tonight for the girls. Sioux Falls, Washington taking on Yankton. And halfway through the third quarter, Washington up 57-19. So that just shows you kind of where Sioux Falls, Washington is at with Shetland and Wenentanda. So that really sums up their season so far. And then you look at a game that's halfway through the second, and it's only 11-5, Watertown leading Mitchell. Brandon Valley taking on Sioux Falls Jefferson 27-25, about halfway through the third quarter there. And then it looks like tonight as well they had some Pentagon games. Sioux Falls, Roosevelt, and O'Gorman were supposed to be playing. Says the matchup started at 6:30. There is no score there, so we'll have to see if we can find something like that online. But again, lots of action tonight, girls and boys side. Excited to be here in Bob Josted once more alongside with you, Alec. And we're looking forward to a great second half here. So what we'll do, we'll conclude the Bobcats halftime show. We'll come back in 1 minute to get a word from our sponsors. When we come back, second half action. You're listening to Bobcat Girls Basketball, Cape Country 102.3.
Halfway through the third. Boys, 29-20 still. A little high scoring. Ooh, that's surprising though. Ooh, 3 seed for boys. We can do a couple boys scores over in a second. Hopefully we're back to normal standards. Nice.
Welcome back, everybody. Bobcat girls basketball tonight. Brookings playing host to the Huron Tigers. And again, we talked about some of the girls' scores. We'll give you a quick update before the second half starts here in Bob Josted on some of the boys' scores. Again, we talked about Brookings with the 29-20 halftime lead at Huron. And one of the big surprises tonight, Yankton with a halftime lead of 34-18 over number 3, Sioux Falls, Washington. Again, boys and girls' sides extremely solid. So that's a surprise result for me, at least, Alec. I don't know about you.
Yeah, and again, the preseason ranking comes out, and I know we're a couple games in, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of an early on test for those teams who maybe didn't get any top rankings or any preseason votes to kind of prove themselves as to why they maybe should have gotten some. So yeah, you see some surprising scores throughout the state here tonight for these games.
And one more surprising result again at the end of the first half. Harrisburg with a 10-point lead over number 5 Sioux Falls Lincoln. So again, possible upsets on both sides tonight for Sioux Falls teams as Huron sets up their offense, and a wide open 3 there from Heaven Gainey. Rebound goes out to Logan Smith. Logan Smith heading to our left on the right-hand side. Starting lineups back to what they were at the beginning of the game. Nice backdoor cut there from Claire Burns. It was a good feed from Shelston, and an offensive rebound goes to Paige Malke, and she's fouled on the way up. So a great offensive play to start off the second half, Alec. A good cut, just couldn't finish the layup. But then it was Malke to come in and clean it up and get fouled.
And again, that's something Brookings might be doing a lot here in the second half, utilizing Shelston kind of towards, up towards the elbow, and then you had a nice backdoor cut there by Burns, which resulted in the missed layup. But still, it was a great look. So maybe that's something Brookings does this half, kind of brings Shelston up because trying to get it to her down low just didn't work in the first half.
2 free throws from Brookings so far, both from Paige Malke, both no good. Third one in and out, but it was an offensive rebound for a split second from Shelston, and then it was knocked away. So it'll be Isabella Shreve to run that offense again, coast to coast as quick as possible. Heaven Gainey with a layup there, couldn't get it to fall. Rebound goes to Burns, and the Bobcats set it up. 7:15 remaining in the third quarter, a 23-15 lead for the Huron Tigers. Right wing over to Logan Smith. Smith looking across to Burns. A little bit of a flex offense here, it looks like, from the Bobcats, trying to mix things up. We didn't see much of this in the first half. Right idea there, trying to get it down to Shelston. It was a one-on-one situation, but just not a very good pass there, and it turned over, and a quick shot on the other end from who else other than Hampton Heights knocks down the free throw line jumper, and that's her first 2 points of the second half. Overall, she's got 14 tonight, 25-15 lead for the Huron Tigers.
And again, there's just that quick offense by Huron. They get the rebound, and Heights comes down and just pulls up from about 12 feet, not even slowing it down. She just knows that's kind of her range, that's her shot, and it's been working for Huron. So again, Brookings is going to have to find a way to, pick her up right away, because she's one that Huron is relying on the offensive end.
The press causing issues again, another turnover on the Bobcats, and there was Malky diving in there with the foul. So just like that, we talked about the great offensive possession for the Bobcats. Have a chance at free throws, don't get any of them, and then Huron gets 2 on the other side, and now the ball back after a turnover. Not the way the Bobcats want to continue to play in this second half. Right-hand side over to Heinz. Thought about a 3, gets past Malky. Little 15-foot jumper, nothing but net on that one. She's up to 15 points on the evening so far. So again, 15 of the 27 going to Hampton Heights. Better offensive possession here from the Bobcats. Again, double teaming down low with Shelston with the left. What a tough look that was. Gets it to fall. First 2 points of the half for Shelston, a 10-point lead, 27-17. Huron Tigers just under 6 in the third quarter.
Yeah, excellent left there by Shelston. And again, something that she kind of relies on is that left hand, which works for her. But again, Brookings is going to have to do something on the defensive end as Isabella Shreve hits a corner 3, giving Huron a 13-point lead with 5:40 left to go here in the third.
So Shreve up to 12 points. Again, 15 and 12, 27 points of the 30 go to those 2 players from Huron, and then it's a turnover from Brookings. Again, 3 turnovers already here in less than 3 minutes, Alec, and that's exactly what they do not need to do.
Nope, only having 10 in the first, something we had talked about, kind of wanted to have it at 10 or less in the second, but when they already have 3 here in the third, they're on their way to surpassing that 20 kind of turnover limit that we were hoping for.
Good baseline drive there from Shreve. She got past Logan Smith. Again, Shreve showing off her speed, and that's team foul number 2 on the Bobcats. That's the 3rd foul on Logan Smith. And checking in for the Bobcats, Waterman, Bisgard, and Devine. Interesting setup here. It's an inbounds play, but you got 4 players near half court. Now they charge forward. There's about a triple screen there for Hampton Heights, and she got a little excited. Looked like she took an extra step, gets called for a travel there. Have not seen a setup like that, but again, if you can get as many screens open for your hottest player on the team, you're going to go for it and give it a shot.
Exactly, yeah. If she's been carrying the team tonight, it's on something different too. Brookings almost wasn't really sure what to expect. A lot of their girls were sinking back towards the basket, normally where inbounds play goes, but they threw it up to Hines for a 3 and just happened to travel with it.
Bisgard goes to Devine on the right wing, cuts to the middle, back out to Waterman. Waterman guarded by Heinz. Waterman drives middle, a lot of contact there, falls to the ground. Got to get up and keep moving as it's Heaven Gainey going to the other side, a wide open Hampton Heights, the 5'7" sophomore, well long on that 3-point attempt. Great hustle there. That was number 22, Reese Roselle, who tried to save it but knocked it out of bounds. And it was Isabella Shreve who almost got it back into play. So again, not a scenario the Bobcats want. Get a little bit of luck with that wide open miss from Heinz. And it's Huber to check in for Huron, and Logan Smith. Again, she's got 3 fouls. Got to be careful checking her back in here as she comes in for Claire Burns.
And it's tough too for Coach McClagan when really offensively they've just been struggling tonight. So when Logan, has been one of your leading scorers, you got to keep her in. But at the same time, when she's got 3 fouls, as a freshman, you've really got to be smart on the defensive end, because if you pick up your 4th here in the third, you're going to find yourself sitting for a majority of the third, if not going into the 4th.
There's a great entry passer from Waterman, got it to Shelston. Shelston, again, the left hand plus an and 1. It is an and 1 officially this time as Shelston knocks in that layup. She's got 6 points now on the game so far. And again, checking in for Huron, Gracie Culver, and then it's Gracie Sheridan from Brookings. 30-19 lead for the Huron Tigers. 4:25 remaining here in the third quarter. 1 free throw upcoming for Ainsley Shelsta.
And again, you see a lot of substituting of Logan in and out, in on the offensive end, out on the defensive end. And again, that's just Coach McClagan being smart about it. Doesn't want her to pick up her fourth, but he also knows what she brings on the offensive end. So again, you'll probably see a lot of that here for the rest of the third. And over there you saw Bailey Waterman go down. Not sure if she tweaked her ankle or not. Lingering a little bit. We'll have to see if she's going to stay. I mean, she is staying in right now. Hopefully it was nothing too serious.
Get it back down to Shelsta. Left hand almost had it in and out off the backboard. It was Heaven Gainey who caused that accident on the other side. Great lay-in for her, up to 3 points. It's a 32-20 lead for the Tigers. Shot in the lane. Hampton Heights, no good there. Good offensive rebound. It was Gracie Culver, and then she was swatted there by Ainsley Shelsta, showing off that 6'5" wingspan, Alec.
And again, something that Shelsta does a good job of is getting back. She contested the shot, gave up the offensive rebound because nobody's there, but then she's able to get back down below the hoop and was able to block the shot.
They get it over to Shreve in the right-hand corner, goes up top of the key to Huber. Huber guarded by Gracie Sheridan, pulls it back to set up the offense. A ball screen, tries to get one from Culver, didn't get it. Back to Culver, top of the key. Right-hand side to Gainey, guarded by Burns. Good fake to her left, goes right, kicks it back out. That's a three-point shot there from Shreve, no good, but an offensive rebound from Culver. So Culver just within her first minute here so far in the second half, making a lot of things happen for the Huron Tigers and getting those second chance opportunities, as that was team foul number 3 on the Bobcats, and that is the third foul overall for Gracie Sheridan.
And again, Brookings only gave up 6, I shouldn't say only, but 6 offensive rebounds to Huron in the first half. It seems as though Huron's almost had 6 alone here in this quarter, so Brookings has to do a better job of boxing out, just because any time you're giving Huron second, third chance points, they're gonna make you pay.
Smith checks in for Brookings. Addison Moore, the 5'6" freshman for Huron. Second free throw on the way from Culver is good. Her first point of the evening. 33-20 lead, just under 3.5 here left to go in the third quarter. They go left-hand corner, get it down to Shelsta. Shelsta again, another and one. That's her second one of the evening. Great entry pass there. She knocks down the layup and fouled on the way up. Team foul number 2 for Huron, and that foul goes on, I believe, Heaven Gainey. That's her second. 33-22 lead here again. Free throw from Shelsta upcoming, trying to get it back to 10. Free throw on the way, in and out, but an offensive rebound goes to Burns. Heaven Gainey fighting for the ball, gets it out to Devine. Up top to Logan Schmidt. She's already hit 2, doesn't get that one. And then I think it was Shelsta trying to get a rebound. It looked like it hit off her left hand. So a good opportunity there for Schmidt, just off the target, and it stays an 11-point lead in Huron ball, Alex.
Yeah, and again, a little rush there on the 3, but nothing you can't complain about when she's been one the Bobcats have relied on tonight. But again, you've seen much better offense looking down into Shelsta. She's been able to convert a couple and ones. So again, hopefully Brookings continues to do that on the offensive end and keep getting stops down here on the defensive side.
Shelsta missed that free throw. She was 2 of 8 on Saturday. Tonight she's only 1 of 2. So again, Bobcats overall 1 for 5 on free throws. Need to pick that up just a little bit. Aiden Moore on the right-hand side kicks it out to number 10. That was Isabella Shreve, 3-pointer off the mark, and it was a rebound going to Shelsta. Left-hand side to Claire Burns. Might have got tipped on the way. They're going to say it was. I think it was Huber who had got a hand on that one. Hampton Heights checking back in for Huron. Going to come in for Shreve, give her a little bit of a break. Going to be the left-hand sideline here. It's Burns to inbound, gets it up top to Jaden Devine. 33-22 lead, again 2.5 left here in this third quarter. Looking to get it to Shelsta, cannot get it to her. She flashes high. Kick it out to Ostreim. She's already got 1 3, looks at another one just long, jumps up off the hoop, goes back down, and what a bounce that was for Ostreim to get her 6 points on the evening. Again, what a shot that was from Ashton Ostreim.
That right there is getting the shooter's touch. I thought for a second it was maybe going to go up and hit the shot clock with how high it got, but hey, you're not going to complain when you get a bounce like that.
Cuts the lead to 8, 33-25. Huron Tigers, 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Sheridan guarding up top. Bryn Huber kicks it over to the right-hand side. Gainey trying to get past Claire Burns. Good block there. Claire Burns just absorbed that one and got it right back, and that's another great defensive possession for the Bobcats. Jaden Devine pushes on the right-hand side. Goes back to the middle, looking at Ostreim again. She already hit 1 3 the last possession, looking for a bank. Another fantastic bounce there for Ostreim. First she gets one that jumps off the rim about 10 feet in the air, and then she banks in the next one. What a shot that was. And now all of a sudden only a 5-point lead for the Huron Tigers.
Trying to think of what her third 3 might be. She's got the bank, she's got the shooter's touch. But again, when things are going your way, keep shooting.
Ostreim just with that one up to 9 points. She's got 3 3-pointers on the evening. Again, we talked about getting someone else to double digits. She's knocking on that door as it's knocked away from Shelsta. Goes into the hands. It was on the left-hand side. Number 14, Addison Moore, the freshman. Airballs that 3-pointer. Bobcats get it. Bobcats down 5, 33-28. A great comeback here so far. Again, another open look. We just talked about it. It was Ostreim who had another chance at a 3-pointer. Couldn't get it to fall, but another offensive rebound goes to Shelsta, and she's fouled on the way up. You got to wonder if you're if you're a part of that coaching staff of Huron, why Ashton Ostreim was wide open on that last possession. Again, 2 in a row with lucky bounces. You just assumed that one had to fall, but it did not. But Shelsta there to clean it up. Finally gets another free throw to fall here, knocking that first one down.
And again, that looked kind of like Brookings in the first half, when Hines had, hit some threes. She was the one that was getting wide open looks with the miscommunication. It's like she's the last one that should be getting those open looks. Same right there. Ostreim hits back-to-back threes, and Huron catches a break as she's wide open over there and missed her third. But Shelsta connects on both free throws, and then Paige Mulkey is going to check in for her to give Shelsta a little breather. With 1 minute left to go in the third, Brookings only trails by 3. It's 33-30. Huron leads.
With those last 2 free throws, Shelsta up to 11 points, and now only a 3-point lead just like that for the Huron Tigers. Man-to-man defense on the right-hand side. Huber guarded by Sheridan. They kick it up top to Hampton Heights. Again, a late closeout there and wild miss as the rebound goes to the Bobcats. Bobcats looking to push that away. Double team near half court. Sheridan dribbles out of it. Might have been a carry. Got away with it. Kicks it over to Claire Burns. She doesn't like to shoot those. Doesn't shoot that one. Goes over to Ostreim. Ostreim loses a handle on it, but it goes to the hands of Jaden Devine in the corner. Does a good job to get out of it. Still 15 seconds on the shot clock, 25 on the game clock. They get it down to Paige Mulkey, and she's fouled on the way up. Another great showing there from Paige, getting the post players, someone else other than Shelsta, to get an opportunity, and she's fouled on the way up. So now 2 chances for her to cut this lead to 1, Alec.
Exactly, and like you had said, excellent job by the Bobcats, still utilizing their post players. Just because Shelsta's not in doesn't mean they can't go down low. And Huron already sitting at 5 team fouls in the third. That's huge for the Bobcats. They're 2 away from going to the 1-and-1 as Mulkey connects on the first. So now it's a 2-point game. You've got 25 seconds left, and Huron is sitting at 5 team fouls. This is excellent for the Bobcats.
Mulkey with that make up to 3 points on the evening. Second one on the way. She leans into it and gets the second one. So much better free throw percentage for the Bobcats tonight. And now 20 seconds remaining in this third quarter. I cannot believe it. The Bobcats trail by 1, 33-32 to the Huron Tigers. And the gym is really starting to come alive here. Right-hand side over to Huber. Huber guarded by Gracie Sheridan. Dead ball up there. Great defense trying to reach around. Gets it to the corner. Right-hand corner, that is Kaufman. Kaufman gets a ball screen. A handoff over to Addison Moore, the freshman. And finally, it's time for a little bit of luck to the Huron Tigers. It was Addison Moore who banks in that 3-pointer. And, man, what a momentum killer that was at the end of the quarter. But nonetheless, a 36-32 lead for the Huron Tigers. We've played 3 so far, 1 more to go. We'll take a 1-minute break. You're listening to Bobcat Girls Basketball, Kick Country 102.3.
She has 30 seconds to find the prize. Everyone assist Michaela by shouting instructions left, right, straight. Ready, set, go.
Should be so frustrating.
It's a huge third quarter for the Bobcats. Now if they can come away here to start the fourth with a bucket, they're down 4. And again, that bank 3 was just a momentum killer, like you said. But again, with some of the threes that Brookings had got too, it's only fair. But still, if Brookings can come out as they do right there to start it, I think it was Ostreim with the bucket.
Shelsta with the classic left.
Right there, Cats down 2. If they can get a stop here and tie it up, you'll definitely hear it from the Bobcat faithful, but I take that back because Isabella Shreve hits a corner 3, building the lead back up to 5 for the Tigers.
Shelsta with 13, Shreve now up to 16 for her. So having a great night for the Huron Tigers. Shreve of Huron, left-hand side to Ostreim, gets it down to Shelsta. Again, goes to that left hand, just nothing you can do against it, especially with her height. She knocks that one down, and just like that, again, it's back to 3 points, 39-36. 2 Bobcats were down, and then I think it was Hampton Heights there, a huge break for the Bobcats. I think it was Ostreim and was it Claire Burns that they both collided, fell down. Hampton Heights must have got a little too excited, traveled, and it's a turnover. Bobcats with a chance to tie here, and that's been a long time since we've been able to say that. So Bobcats looking fantastic so far in this fourth quarter, Alex.
Yeah, I think the last time it was tied was 5-5 in the first. So the fact that they fought their way, little again right there. Oh, as Logan is going to pick up her 4th foul there. But right there, I think a little too much of a forced entry. Brookings has been doing a much better job slowing it down offensively. That's something that they have to keep doing. I know when you're so close to tying it back up, you get a little rushed or forced, passes like that one right there. If they can just remember to slow it down, they have a good chance of tying it up and hopefully taking the lead.
Costly foul there for Logan Smith. Again, her 4th, like Alec had just mentioned. We'll have to see what Coach McClagan decides to do in this fourth quarter as we've got over 6.5 minutes still to go. Great drive there from Shreve. Doesn't get it to fall. Another rebound from Shelsta. Shelsta on her way to another double-double as she started the season. Jaden Devine, top of the key, kicks it over right side over to Waterman. Waterman, great pump fake, goes right-hand side, going to go into Shreve. Shreve didn't quite get there in time, tried to slide underneath, but they're going to call a block. So a much better aggressive play there from Bailey Waterman. Again, someone we like to see shoot from the outside. You don't see her get to the lane like that, so a great play from her. And again, now 2 more chances here to cut this lead to 1.
Yeah, excellent attack there by Waterman. Also, Shreve just slid over a little too late as Waterman connects on the first. So again, Brookings has a chance to cut it to 1. Huron sitting at 6 fouls, so there's a good chance, depending on what that 7th foul may be, Brookings could be sitting in bonus here for the last 6 minutes and 30 seconds, which is huge for them.
Gets the first, misses the second, but then an offensive rebound from Ainsley Shelsta. Shelsta up to 17 points, and just like that, we are tied at 39 here, just over 6 minutes remaining. What a great play that was from the senior. Right-hand side to Heinz, goes up top over to Shreve. Shreve, a long three-pointer, and she continues to answer on her own with another three-point basket there, and now a 3-point lead for the Huron Tigers. Again, emotions flowing from her after she knocks down 3 after 3. 42-39 lead, just under 6 minutes. It was Devine going baseline, trying to kick it head to Ostreim, got knocked out of bounds. Looks like that one's going to be on Heaven Gainey, and it should now be a 1-and-1 for Jaden Devine. So a great opportunity here. Bobcats so far in the second half doing a much better job on free throws. Again, they're 4 for 8, a chance to get a little better here, but much more improvement from that first game, and now a great look here for Jaden Devine to get things a little bit closer.
Exactly, and that's what we said before the game too. Something that hurt them in that loss to Watertown was their free throw shooting. So again, now that they're going to be in the bonus for the rest of the game, they've really got to utilize on that, and they just got to make their free throws, because again, it cost them a win last Saturday, and hopefully they don't want that to happen again tonight, so they've got to make their free throws.
Devine missed that one, but it was a costly mistake from the Tigers. They knocked it out of bounds. They again try to get it down to Shelsta, who's double team. She could have went right, of course goes left, gets an offensive rebound, goes up again, and she's going to get an and one. Misses the first one, makes the more important one, and just like that, Bobcats down by 1 point.
Just unbelievable, the fact that she's so good with the left, Again, somebody with her size and height too, she's just one that you never see on the right side. And I don't know if that would, help her game out a little more, but I think as teams face Brookings more and more, and especially, once Brookings goes to Huron after tonight, they're going to know she just lives on that left side. So again, hopefully Ainsley's able to use the right a little more, but again, it's working. The left is working for her tonight, and so it's nothing that you can change right now, and she was not able to make the free throw. So Brookings down by 1, 41-42, with 5:34 left to go in the fourth.
Shelsta with 19 overall. She's got 17 alone in the second half. Heaven Gainey with a three-point shot, no good. Rebound goes to Burns. Jaden Devine catches a break there, going to push it up ahead. Again, talked about some of the patience that the Bobcats need here. No reason to rush. You've got over 5 minutes left. Still plenty of time to get this game going. They go corner over to Burns. Up top to Gracie Sheridan. Thinks about a three-pointer. She will take it just off the mark, and a good rebound there from Alexis Feenstra, the 5'11 senior.
And again, Brookings is going to get a lot of open looks from beyond the arc. Looking there, Shelsta's got, like you said, 17 this half. And you can see they're just double teaming her right away. They've always got somebody on the front of her, and there's somebody behind waiting if they're going to throw that lob pass, as it was Isabel Shreve with a nice little floater, giving Huron a 3-point lead, 44-41, with 4:57 to go in the fourth.
Shreve with that shot. She's up over 20 points on the evening, so a great night for her. Again, the Bobcats just didn't need that to happen, but again, Bobcats right in this. Easily could have went either way after that halftime score, Alec. You just didn't know what was going to happen. The Bobcats a great showing in the third quarter, and now a great showing in the fourth quarter, and what a competitive game it's been so far. Again, a 44-41 lead for the Huron Tigers, just under 5 minutes. What have you seen so far that's been improved by the Bobcats in the second half compared to the first half, Alec?
Well, for sure, even in this fourth quarter, the turnovers, they have not have had as many turnovers, but also just slowing it down on the offensive end has done a much better job. They've gotten some open looks, and again, they're working through Shelsta, who's been able to connect on some of these and ones, and also defensively. I know Shreve's hit a couple tough buckets, as has Hines, but just not having the wide open looks like we saw in the first quarter. So again, everything that the Bobcats needed to fix here in the second half, they've done, hence why they only find themselves down 3 as opposed to 8 that they did at halftime.
And realistically, the Bobcats have done about anything they can. They've done everything about right in this second half. It's just, how do you stop someone like Isabella Shreve and Hampton Heights, who continue to put the ball in the basket? It was a made basket by Shreve there, so it will be Bobcats ball again. Now we're seeing that full court press. We've got Shelsta and Ostreim at half court. It's going to be Gracie Sheridan inbound. Up ahead, you had Burns and Devine. Again, a zone press here. Looking ahead, had a chance at Ostreim if she could have floated behind. Again, I'm sure that's what they're looking for, but maybe an opportunity there. Much better job of the Bobcats slowing things down on this possession. They go right-hand corner over to Burns. Up top to Sheridan. Going to set up the offense here. Looks like Coach McClagan wants them to reset. Going to go left-hand side. Gets it to Devine on the left wing. Got a screen there. They wanted what they got. It's Ostreim with a wide-open three and missed to the right there. What a shot that would have been from Ostreim if that would have fallen, but it's a rebound to Shreve. Huron takes over.
And great offense there. I know Ostreim didn't connect, but look what happens when you have a couple extra passes. You're moving, you set good screens, you get a wide-open look for Ostreim as Isabella Shreve hits another 3 from the right wing, giving Huron now a 6-point lead.
Shreve has caught fire. She's got 23 points so far, and we still have 4 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Ostreim caught in the corner, not what you want to do. She slowed things down and got caught, stepped on the sideline, and they are going to bring in Logan Smith. It looks like the freshman. Again, 4 fouls going to check in for Ostreim. And then for Huron, it's Bryn Huber, the 5'5 junior. So now all of the momentum switching back to Huron. Again, basketball, a game of runs, as we know, but this is the wrong time for the run going towards Huron if you're the Brookings Bobcats.
It is, but luckily for Brookings, you've still got just under 4 minutes to go, and you're only down 6. The way Isabella Shreve's been shooting, it would feel as though Brookings is down 15, but they're only down 6. If they can get a stop here and then a bucket on the other end, momentum will slowly come back to their side.
What's interesting is you can see they're trying to get it to Shreve, and again, it got a tip there from, it was Claire Burns. Much better defense. The Bobcats started switching on that possession, making sure that Shreve did not get an open look, but you can see it on all the Huron faces. They want Shreve to get the ball and continue this run, and then it was Logan Smith on the right-hand side, guarded by Gainey, and a little bit of a tough scenario, but Coach McClagan gets her out of it with a timeout. It's a 1-minute timeout, so we'll take a 1-minute break ourselves. Again, Huron leading with 3:23 left in the fourth quarter, 47-41. You're listening to Bobcat Girls Basketball on K Country 102.3. She got 15 in the second half. the scenario, fourth quarter here. Bobcats inbounding with 3:20 left to go in this game, trailing by 6. It's a 47-41 lead for Huron. They go left side to Logan Smith. Up top, get it down low again, trying to rush that pass to Shelston. It's knocked away. Huron reading that play from the get-go, and it's causing a turnover for the Bobcats. It looks like Shreve was going to do a timeout. She does, runs towards the sideline. Didn't know what was going to happen there. But you got to wonder here with Coach Budenhagen if he's going to set something up for Shreve. Again, you can see it on all their faces. She had a little bit of a smirk on her face the last offensive possession. They were trying to get her the ball, but we'll have to see what happens here with this timeout.
And again, Brookings, Shelsta's been on fire the second half, but when Huron knows that you're just going to throw it to her, again, that's where you got to move the ball a little quicker. Logan did an excellent job of not forcing it in right away, but again, just if you can get Shelsta moving from block to block and keeping Huron kind of on their toes on the defensive end, I think you'll be able to get it into Shelsta a little easier because, again, Huron kind of knows it's coming her way, and Shelsta has to also do a good job of that. If she catches the ball and gets double-teamed, might have to kick it back out because, again, Brookings only down 6, which is big for them the way Huron's been shooting tonight.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens here again. It's getting to that point in the game where one thing happens and all of a sudden it can go one way or the other. It can either be a landslide or something looking upward because right now the Bobcats are in an interesting scenario. Again, they're down 6 with just over 3 minutes left. They have to keep things in check right now because this game could get out of hand quickly, especially if Shreve continues that hot hand.
And the good thing for Brookings, they're sitting the bonus. They're Huron at 18 fouls, so that's huge. And also the good thing for Brookings, they're only at 14 fouls. So, they still have a few fouls to give before Huron gets the bonus because the last thing you want is to send somebody like Hines or Shreve to the line for free throws.
They do get it inbounded over to Hampton Heights on the right baseline, trying to go middle against Logan Smith. Good defense there. Against Shelsta is guarding the 5'5". You got a 6'5" guarding a 5'5" player, and a rebound goes to Smith off the missed shot from Huron. So Bobcats just under 3 minutes here, a chance to get some points back. Smith drives to the middle, left-hand dribble, goes up top to Jaden Devine. Again, they try and lob it over the top. You can see what the Bobcats are doing, and I think they're thinking what you're thinking with that bonus. If we can get it down low, draw the foul, but you have to be picture perfect on some of those entry lob passes, and that's just a lot of touch for any player, let alone a high school player.
Exactly, and again, the last 2 possessions have been 2 turnovers, so it's just not working. So again, something Coach McClagan or the girls have to understand is it can work and it might work, but these last 2 possessions have just been 2 turnovers, and that's not something you can afford right here to Huron with only 2:20 left to go in the fourth, and you trail by 6.
It's a good take there from Haney, but it was Feenstra who comes up with a rebound. Good driving play there from Hampton Heights. Gets that right-handed floater to drop. So Heights with her 6 points in the second half. That brings her total up to 17, and now an 8-point lead for the Huron Tigers. Again, careless pass there. Brookings gets away with it, gets it to Shelsta. Shelsta with a lot of trouble. Huron looking for a travel, doesn't get it. They go right side over to Claire Burns. Huron all of a sudden picking up the intensity on defense, really going after the ball on all sides. They get it back to Logan Smith. Smith with 15 seconds on the game clock, just under 2 minutes on the game clock. Right, left-hand side, they go to, it was Gracie Sheridan, the 3-point shot, long on that one. Again, a scenario that she is not usually in, and again, Bobcats are looking for different shooters probably in a situation like that, and all of a sudden, Bobcats getting a little flustered here, only a minute and a half. Huron clinging to that 8-point lead.
And now, if you're Brookings, you're going to have to start fouling. You're down 8 with only a minute and a half to go. If Huron's going to run their whole 35 seconds per shot clock, that's going to get you under a minute. And when you only have 4 team fouls, you've still got 3 to go till the bonus. So Brookings is going to have to start fouling if they want to get back into this game.
And it looked like Shelsta was going to do that, but she doesn't. And then a 3-point shot from Heaven Gainey, and Gainey knocks that one down. And that's a big one for them as that ups the lead to 11 with just a minute to go, 52-41. Bobcats got to move here. Caught in the backcourt. They get it up top to Gracie Sheridan. It hits off her head, and that's another turnover. And just like that, how things have changed has been ridiculous so far within this last minute, Alec.
Yeah, and again, Brookings has to foul, which they're not doing. So, you're down 11 with 45 seconds. I know it's not your ideal situation, but as Burns picks up a foul there, you can see they're going to have to do that 2 more times to get Huron to the line. And then it's just going to come down to if Brookings can connect on threes on their end, and then you're going to have to keep fouling to just send Huron to the line on their end.
Ostreim checks in for Sheridan. It looks like Coach McClagan talking to Sheridan, possibly going to try and get her back in here, maybe on offense or on a defensive scenario. I'm not sure. But again, now we're under 40 seconds, and there seems to be no foul from the Bobcats. They just fouled to get into the scenario. And Coach McClagan with his hand to his face, I think he's a little concerned right now, understands what's going on. And at this point, I think it's probably too late as Heinz drives to the middle, kicks outside to Huber. And now that we're under 25 seconds, there's really no point, so they're just going to have to take a shot off. There's only about an 8-second difference between them. So it looks like Huron's going to drive, and then a late foul there. It didn't look like much on that one, as it was Heinz driving past Ostreim, and that is the 16th foul, so still not in the bonus. And now, with that happening, shot clock gets turned off, only 20.7 left, and it looks like the senior Ella Bisgard is going to check in. So I'm not sure exactly what the defensive plan was there in that last 25 seconds or so, but it clearly did not work out for Brookings.
Yeah, just like you had said, a little confusing, because a couple possessions ago you saw Shelster sprint out like she was told to foul. They didn't call it, but then they did foul, but now they're not fouling, and I know it's an 11-point game, but now they are going to foul. So I think there was just some miscommunication. And again, you're only 2 games into the season. You know, I think if you're sitting doing this in February, not understanding the situation, then it's a lot more alarming. But this is a great learning point for the girls tonight, knowing like, hey, we were down 10, we were still in it, but we still had 3 fouls to give. So again, this is all just stuff that you can talk about in practice. This is stuff you can do when you're watching film. But it's stuff you would much rather have happen 2 games into the year, you know, than 18, 19 games into the year.
Hampton Heights knocks down both, so she's got 8 second-half points and now a 13-point lead here with just under 10 to go. Logan Smith takes it to the right-hand side, just going to try and go all the way. Nice little shot there from the right-hand side, doesn't get it to fall. Tipped away, rebound goes to Hampton Heights, and she will run out the last 3, 2 and 1, and this game is officially over. What a good game it was, competitive on both ends. A great run there for the Bobcats, but just falling short. The score doesn't show what it truly was about. It was a 54-41 win for the Huron Tigers. And again, great action tonight in ESD basketball on the girls' side. We'll take another 3-minute break here. When we come back, we'll have updates on the boys' game in Huron as they have a final over there, and we'll have post-game statistics for you to listen to. You're listening to Kid Country 102.3, back in 3 minutes.